What is going on, Kyle? We are back this week for UFC Ohio. Almost said UFC Vegas. UFC Fight Night. What is this, 52 now? 53? 52.
Yeah.
Coming to us from Columbus, Ohio. We absolutely crushed it last week on what was essentially a Bellator card with the lopsided fights they were putting at us. But how do we do at the end of the day last week?
Plus 11.2 units.
I feel like that's happening every week now.
Yeah, we're up over 41 units since we've gone paid, which is the last 4 weeks.
And that includes 1 week where we basically had a wash.
Yeah, we were minus 0.75 units that week.
Right.
Yep, but
really when we're hitting big.
Yeah, and we avoid the huge downfalls. That's what we're going with these cards. We want a lot of upside, and then when we lose, we're hoping to avoid disaster.
Yeah, mitigate the downside here.
Yeah. Yep. I think that's where we've come the farthest with our units since we started this whole thing.
Picking wrestlers.
So much better.
Don't pick guys whose only path to victory is a finish, and pick wrestlers, and you're not going to lose money.
And we just gotten so much better at making the parlays so that we used to just pick too big of parlays is what we used to do. Yeah. And now we just split them into two.
Right. Get it to even money and hammer them. Like the Patty Pimblett and what the hell? Tuporia. I was trying to think of his name. Ilir.
Both Georgian. Inside the distance. That was
both inside the distance. Even money. 7 units. Let's go.
Boom.
I was a little nervous first round of the Tuporia fight when he ate that shin to the chin.
Oh, I clinched.
I was clinching.
That was a 1% thing that happened, right? He did it. It happened. He got kicked in the head.
Yeah.
He still was so much better than Jai Herbert that he came back and dominated.
The funny thing about that fight is the announcer right before he knocked out Jai Herbert at the beginning of the second round, they're like, "Oh, I don't know. The live odds are still have Tuporia as a favorite. I don't know why. I think Jai Herbert was had a pretty good round there. Kicked him right in the face, and they showed it a bunch of times. And then Jai Herbert proceeds to get his bell absolutely rung, and he's just out cold.
That was a sick combo to the body with the overhand.
Yeah,
oh man,
fantastic.
You didn't even see it coming at all.
Still can't even see.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this card. Pretty good card. We have some huge favorites on here, but there are definitely some good spots I think we can exploit. First fight on the card is Luis Saldana, slight dog, basically a pick 'em at minus 105, going up against Bruno Souza.
Yeah, I like Saldana here.
100%.
Saldana came in on Dana White Contender Series. He hit that beautiful front kick that led to the finish. He then got a win over Herbie Jordan Griffin. No good Griffin.
No good Griffin.
And then he faltered a little bit against Austin Lingo, who Austin Lingo is really good. And if you watch that fight, that was Saldana's fight to lose. He just didn't have the cardio to get that done.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me in this fight. I think Saldana is better than Souza everywhere. He's got more power. Saldana's kicks are ridiculous. Some of those spinning kicks to the body. I don't know how it didn't finish Austin Lingo. But Saldana has said he struggled with weight cuts in his last 2 fights. He's made weight, but he's had bad weight cuts. We hope to see him with a little bit better cardio, but I'm not sure if he's going to need it. I think he finishes the Souza here.
Souza. Yeah, and it's interesting because the odds have Saldana at minus 105, so he's technically a slight dog. And then on DraftKings, they have him at 8,300, and they have Souza at 7,900. So DraftKings is thinking that Saldana should be a bigger favorite than he is, so something to potentially capitalize on there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving on up the card. This is another pretty close one, and should be a good matchup here. We have Matheus Nicolau at plus 100 going up against David Dvorak at minus 120. Is there any reason here why we shouldn't take Dvorak?
Well, I was back and forth on it when I first saw it come out, because Nicolau is pretty good. He has wins over Manel Kopp and Tim Elliott, both good fighters. Before I did tape, basically, I thought that Nicolau might be able to take this to the ground. After reviewing the tape,
hold on 1 second. All good. Do you remember where you were?
Yeah.
All right, ready?
So before I did tape, I thought that Nicolau might be able to control it with wrestling. After doing tape, Dvorak's takedown defense is spot on. I mean, this guy's legit. He's going to be the better striker here. He throws thudding leg kicks.
You get like secondhand like pain in your fucking legs when you hear those things. Thwack.
Yeah. I mean, he knocked down Jordan Espinosa multiple times with leg kicks. And he just doesn't stop coming forward. He's always moving forward.
Yeah.
David Dvorak, I like him here.
100%. Easy pick. And, the line is right on this. And we have another easy pick coming up, but the line is not right. Next, we have Manon Fiorot at minus 440 going up against Jennifer Maia, plus 340 on DraftKings. Fiorot is 9,400 and Maia 68. Is Jennifer Maia done?
She is done. And I think her only chance in this fight is like a Paul Craig style, let me get knocked down and almost knocked out and maybe try to throw up a sub. But she's not Paul Craig, so.
Right. The Paul Craig approach of just eating shots for 4.5 straight minutes and then do a flying triangle.
The Paul Craig approach of have the announcers question, was he maybe knocked out for a second?
Yeah. Like Nikita Krylov was beating the absolute fuck out of Paul Craig, and Paul Craig just still wouldn't get up and was still eating shots until he could just there. And Jennifer Maia is not good enough to do that.
Absolutely not. Manon Fiorot.
Manon Fiorot by whatever way she wants.
Yeah, probably KO.
Yeah. All right. This next one, the biggest favorite on the card. Two Russians, one very good, one not that good. Aliaskhab, Khizriev, minus 625. Denis Tiuliulin, plus 450. Did I pronounce that right?
Tiuliulin.
Tiuliulin.
He's coming in on
it's not even on DraftKings.
He's coming in on short notice. So I actually got this line in a parlay. I'm not going to say the whole parlay here, but I parlayed this up as soon as I saw the line because it opened at like minus 400, locked it up, and DraftKings is now willing to pay me to get rid of that parlay. They're offering me $1.80 more than I bet to get rid of that parlay.
Yeah.
This is not a close fight. Aliaskhab hasn't fought in 2 years. Doesn't matter. His striking's ridiculous. His wrestling's ridiculous. He's going to come out and probably body slam Denis Tiuliulin and finish him in the first round.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on up the card, we got Chris Gutierrez, plus 125, going up against Danaa Batgerel, minus 150. Love this guy. The Mongol.
Any thoughts on this one?
So I think this is probably the hardest fight for Danaa. The last couple of guys he's finished in first round, both of them.
Yeah.
Last two, I think
last three. Didn't he finish last three guys?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be a huge test for him. I don't know enough about his gas tank because we haven't seen him go the distance to know if he's got gas tank issues, but I still think he gets it done here. It's just going to be a little closer than maybe I would like. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, so Danaa, he did go decision in his first UFC fight. He lost to Alatang in a fight of the night. And he looked good. His cardio held up. Chris Gutierrez is good. He's won a fight by leg kicks before.
Yeah.
He doesn't have very much power in his hands. He has slick footwork. I think he might look good against Danaa early. Like maybe the movement might look good. We might see Danaa with some big swings and misses. But I think once Danaa finds that range, and he does actually have, Danaa is 1 inch shorter, but has a 3-inch reach advantage in this fight. He has the power advantage, and I think the constant just walking down that Danaa does will get to Gutierrez eventually.
Yeah.
And Danaa wins this fight. He's just going to... This might sound stupid. I honestly think Danaa's going to walk through the leg kicks. These Mongols, people like that, they don't care.
They pillage.
Yeah, he's just going to walk right through.
Chris Gutierrez is getting pillaged.
Yeah.
The Mongols do love the pillage play. All right. Moving on, we got another ladies fight next. Sara McMann, plus 180, going up against Karol Rosa, minus 220. DraftKings, Karol Rosa is 8,900, and Sara McMann 7,300.
Sara McMann. Yeah, confusing. Molly McCann, Sara McMann.
I got the meatball on the brain.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one, Scott. Do we go against our take wrestlers approach? Because Sara McMann is a former Olympic wrestler, but she's 41 years old.
Ooh, this is quite the pickle.
Yeah,
this is quite the pickle, and it's women's bantamweight. So these are husky ladies.
It's striker versus grappler. Sara McMann has actually, at her age, still looked really good in the opening round. She does tire, and she does have some quit in her, and that makes me question her in this fight.
Yeah, I can see why. Yeah. And I can see why she's a plus 180 dog.
Me too.
She has, lost 3 of her last 4. Not sure why she's still out there. Alpha Male is a pretty good gym, though. Definitely at least stay away, if not hammer Karol Rosa.
Yeah, I think
we haven't taken into account the 41-year-old wrestlers.
Yeah, right. I like Rosa. I think that she will get taken down in this fight. I think she will get back up. And when they're on the feet, Sara McMann is in trouble.
Yeah.
And like I said, Sara McMann quits. I think she's
a quitter.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, we got the featured prelim next. Not sure why this is on the prelims because fucking Neil Magny is a beast. Neil Magny is minus 240 over Max Griffin, who's plus 200. DraftKings, Magny's 8,800, Griffin 7,400. Magny looked real good against Jeff Neal.
Yeah, he did. And we've been winning money on Neil Magny since 2013. Yeah. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Neil Magny is a hard one to figure out. Sometimes he looks like a world beater. Other times he looks too unathletic to hang.
Yeah.
Against Max Griffin here, though, I think he'll have no trouble. Max Griffin is a step down from Jeff Neal, and Neil Magny is a huge step up for Max Griffin. Magny dominates, I think. Agreed. Yeah.
Agreed. And he's got high enough volume on in the striking output that I'm going to have him in DraftKings.
I like it. Yeah, I like him in DraftKings as well.
Yep. All right, moving on to the main card. We've got Marc Diakiese, plus 135 going up against Viacheslav Borshchev, minus 160. DraftKings, we have Marc at 7,500, Borshchev 8,700.
Yeah, we've won on Borsh it twice already.
Yes. So gut instinct is hammer Borsh. I did see something on Twitter yesterday that there's been, I think, 5 people who have had 2 fights in 2022. All of them so far has won their first fight, lost their second fight. This is going to be the second fight of the year for Borsh. So it's got me in a little bit of a pickle, although some of those guys are like fight and then short notice, like against Makhachev.
Yeah.
Bobby Green. That one shouldn't count the same.
No. Yeah.
But I do think
Casey's not no slouch.
Yeah, he's got really good power.
He's got good power and speed.
I could see. I mean, I feel like I think Diakiese won his last fight. I feel like no, he's lost 2 in a row. Okay, fuck him.
Yeah, and but you know what? He lost a striking battle to Rafael Khizriev.
And then he got subbed in the first round of his last fight.
Right. But we're not going to see a sub, so I'd rather compare it to the Khizriev fight. For that fight, he was training with Khamzat. Since then, it looks like he's changed gyms. He now trains at Great Britain top team with like Paul Daly out there. But Borsh, dude, this guy is a monster. He only needs one. He's one of those guys. Like, you could be beating him. You could take him down. He knows that if he gets up, he just needs one. He throws powerful calf kicks. Those kicks to the body are ridiculous. The hooks to the body are ridiculous. I think Borsh knocks out Diakiese here. Sends Diakiese out of the UFC.
Yeah. He was a very highly touted prospect that has not panned out. Because we were all over him a couple years ago.
We were.
And lost some money on him. So not going back to that well again. All right, moving on up the card. We got Ilir Latifi, minus 200 going up against old man Ezekiel Choke himself, Alexei Olenek. DraftKings has this one at Ilir 8,600, Alexei 7,600. This is another easy one.
Yeah, I like Ilir a lot. I was seeing a lot of love for Olenek early on, and then, but you know what? The money wasn't backing it though. People were tweeting, "Oh, Olenek has a shot," as the line moves from 170 to 210.
Right
on Ilir. So
they're trying to trick you.
Yeah,
it's all DraftKings bots.
Right.
Lennox got a real shot this week.
I was really hoping that the KO prop for Latifi would be better than it is. It's at plus 175. I was honestly thinking it was going to be plus 400 or more. But Vegas is fucking on their shit lately. They're seeing what we're seeing. And Olenek is 44 years old. And if you go to our tape study notes, if you subscribe to our premium, you'll get all our tape study notes. I have some excellent quotes from Olenek in this fight that sway our decision one way or the other. So make sure you subscribe, get all our tape study notes. They really help you out.
Great plug. Love that. And moving. I do like Latifi as a DraftKings play just because of the knockout power.
Yeah, he might be lower owned too.
Yeah. And moving on to a dog that is over plus 200 that actually has a decent shot in Kai Kara-France, plus 280, going up against Askar Askarov, minus 360. DraftKings has this at, where is he? Kara-France, 7,100, Askar Askarov, 9,100.
Yeah, I was shocked that this line is so wide. And it keeps getting wider. People love Askar Askarov for good reason. He's undefeated.
People love the deaf guy.
He's undefeated. But I don't get how you can't look at Kai Kara-France's last 2 fights and make him a nearly plus 300 dog.
It's crazy.
I mean, he's got the best power in the division. He trains at the best gym maybe in the world in city kickboxing. He's a student of the game. I mean, he's more athletic than Askar Askarov. That's just a fact. He's faster than Askar Askarov.
He can hear.
He can hear. But Askar Askarov is your classic Russian Dagestani fighter. He goes in, he looks for takedowns.
He's going to land 1 million takedowns.
the UFC, I don't think the UFC likes Askar Askarov because his UFC debut was against Brendan Moreno, which he fought to a draw. Since then, he's fought Tim Elliott, Pantoja, and Joey Benavidez.
Jesus.
It's like the absolute top of the division. And he's been in close fight. Every one of his fights has been close.
Yeah.
Don't think he's dominating these fights because he hasn't been.
Right.
But he's won all of them. It's all top competition.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think he wins.
I'm going Kai Kara France here. I'm going France. I think he knocks out Askar Askarov. I really do.
Oh. I like Kara France. Not enough to do a full pick on him. I think for me is a stay away.
I'm France. I really think he gets the KO, and that's plus 700.
All right, we'll see. Love it. Love the enthusiasm. All right, a lot of our boys are on this card here.
They are.
Moving on, we got Matt. Old school locks days. Matt Brown going up against Brian Barberena. This one's a pick'em, and on DraftKings, pretty much a pick'em as well. Matt Brown 82, Barberena 8K.
I don't think this should be a pick'em.
I don't either.
Matt Brown is the better fighter. I know he's old. But Brian Barberena is old in fucking miles. This dude, he used to have a granite chin. That thing is gone. Those days are over.
Yeah.
He gets hit too much. He has no wrestling defense at all. Anybody could take Brian Barberena down. I don't know if Matt Brown will want to, but he can. It's there.
Yeah.
I see Matt Brown finding the range, picking Brian Barberena apart, and landing one of those freaking flush elbows that he's known for and knocking Brian Barberena out. I really think so.
Barberena's chin is now made of popsicle sticks.
Yeah, it's held together by his beard.
That's true. There's just no chin under there. It's all just air.
Yeah.
All right. Love it. And I love Matt Brown on DraftKings as well. All right, moving on to the co-main here. We got JoJo Wood, formerly Joanne Calder-Wood, now just straight Wood, no Calder. Huge dog here, too, plus 200, going up against Alexa Grasso, minus 240 on DraftKings. Grasso 9K, JoJo 7,200.
Yeah, I think the line is warranted. JoJo, the one thing she has is volume. She has no popularity. Power. She has no power whatsoever. She doesn't even try to put power on her strikes. They're all pitter-patter. They do no damage. She outlands almost all her opponents, even in losses, but she just is touching. And then, and then her opponent comes back and freaking socks JoJo in the head, and the judges see JoJo's head
snap back. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard to say JoJo is winning the fight. Right. That's going to happen here against Grasso as well. And she's going to get outclassed, I think.
Very outclassed.
Yeah.
All right. And then moving on to the main event here, we got Curtis Blaydes, minus 400, going up against the former highly touted prospect, Chris Daukaus, someone calling for a title shot for him just a couple of fights ago after the Shamil fight. He said he was on the fast track to a title shot. He is now plus 310 going up against Curtis Blaydes, and on DraftKings he is only 7K. Blaydes is 9,200. Easy one here as well.
Yeah, what do you think, Scott? Is the line warranted here?
100%.
Yeah, I think so too.
I was, to be fair, I was never super high on Daukaus. Until the Shamil fight, I was kind of like, oh, he's kind of legit. And then Derek Lewis knocked him out as Derek Lewis as a dog.
It's crazy to
people
think,
forget that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is how much respect people had for Chris Daukaus when he fought Derek Lewis. He was minus 140 over the black fucking beast. And Derek Lewis went out there, just knocked his head into oblivion. And now you got Curtis Blaydes, who has 99% of the knockout power. of Derek Lewis. And he's an all-around athlete. Daukaus is not going to be the faster guy here. He's not going to be the better wrestler. He's not going to have more power. He's not going to be the faster striker. So why would anyone pick Daukaus here?
The one thing he might have, he might be the smoother striker. The way Blaydes strikes is kind of awkward, but Blaydes' wrestling is so good. It's just, and his ground and pound, he might have the best ground and pound in the division.
Easily.
It's scary. I think
I would maybe put Francis up there with him. I think the only reason people thought he had better ground and pound than Francis is because Francis never took anyone down until his last fight.
That's true.
But Francis's ground and pound on Ziragan in the last fight was pretty scary.
Yeah, it was. Anything Francis does is as scary as it gets. But yeah, Blaydes, I feel bad for Blaydes because if he had a better chin, he'd probably be champ. He has the skills to do it. He just keeps getting caught when he fights the upper echelon. He dominates Daukaus here.
Yeah, not even close.
And I think you might have to have him in DraftKings. He might be like an auto lock.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of DraftKings, did you make a lineup?
I did.
All right. Let's hear it.
So, start at the top. I got Curtis Blaydes, 9,200. I dropped down to Ilir Latifi. I then dropped down to Danaa, Batgerel. I got Dvorak. I got Matt Brown, and I got Kai Kara France.
Like it. How much you have left over?
None.
I too have none. All right, so mine most expensive. I'm out of the 9Ks. I have nobody for 9K. Everyone else is kind of mid eights. Most expensive guy, Neil Magny. I think he gets it done here pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then moving down to Borsh, 87, Ilir, 86, Danaa, 85, Saldana, 83, and then, not saying you're right here, but I ran out of money. So I went with Kai Kara France.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a popular pick.
Hopefully he gets the knockout.
I think he's going to be a popular pick just because there's not much down there.
Right. See, I was thinking he would be pretty low owned because everyone was pumping Asker Askarrov's tires.
That's true too. I guess you know what? Maybe if you like Sara McMann, you go with the wrestling aspect. You could argue Sara McMann's a good DraftKings play. Diakiese definitely should have some ownership of him at 75, and Gutierrez and Nicolau. I mean, why not at 77 and 78? Those are probably the dogs that I would play in DraftKings.
Yeah.
Not that I like any of them to win, really. but DraftKings.
But for when you're out of money and you need someone cheap.
Right. Yep. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good card. We're going to find some spots again, and hopefully we'll be up over 50 units come Sunday.
Yeah. All right, bud.
All right.
That'll do it.